Welcome, welcome. I'm MTG Joe, your mustached monsieur, who will be playing some Magic today. So we are going to be playing some Best of One, and we are playing Simic Flash. So this is a deck I haven't played in a while. It's actually, I feel, pretty good matchup against the Oko decks. They're usually going one spell per turn, and the availability of Mystical Dispute main does give it some advantage. We're not seeing as much Teferi going around, so this deck seems a bit more viable. It also crushes the Fires deck, which typically is playing everything at sorcery speed anyways, and it's got a so-so matchup against like the extreme aggro decks in mono red and like the Rakdos style. Gruul I've won 3 times against as well, so currently 8-4 in Best of One with this deck. It actually started out 6-0, but ran into a little bit of mana issues. So we'll take this deck for a spin. So it's a pretty stock list. So you have your flash creatures set up in Spectral Sailor, Brineborn Cutthroat, Brazen Borrower, which we got that sweet art, and then the Nightpack Ambushers and Frilled Mystic. Most games you're going to win either through tempo play with like your flyers or a Nightpack Ambusher just going wide. Other than that, we got 3 Once Upon a Times. Generally want to see 1 in your opener hand and then never see another one for the rest of the game. So it's just a free spell. Our counter spell suite is a couple Essence Captures for the creatures matchup, 3 Quench, 4 Mystical Disputes, which we could cast for 1 mana against Okos to get rid of turn 2 Oko. Good against Hydroid Krasis and the such. 3 Sinister Sabotage as hard counters, and Frilled Mystic serves as well as a hard counter. My flex spot is 2 Aether Gusts. In Best of One, pretty much everything has some sort of green or red in it. So this is a good tempo play, and it can kind of help out like that. The one card I was trying out was... what's its name? The wolf. Wildborn Preserver. It just felt like a really bad Brineborn Cutthroat. I didn't really want it on 2. You have to kind of pay mana into it to get bigger. So I felt like in general the Aether Gust was a better play here. We're going to be playing Best of One. There's a sideboard which I'll include in the Aether Hub posting for the deck list. Basically Veil of Summers, Aether Gust, Negates, a couple Okos, post board, good against like the creature decks. 3 Ceratops and 2 Mass Manipulations. So we'll run it through. For the most part, most decks will have the Noxious Grasps main, but they won't really be having much in terms of like counter. There's the one deck I played where they mainboarded Veil of Autumn, the 1 mana, which was just Blowout City. You don't expect that to be mainboarded. Ideally, I want to be playing against Gruul. So part of the skill of this deck is going first. So we've already lost that component. But we do have a once into a Spectral Sailor, which we will keep. With this, you probably want to find... Actually, that's pretty good, because if they go with Oko, we have these Dispute. So it's good to just hang on to that. That's actually what I wanted, just as a tempo play. So this is going to find us a second blue source. So I'm just going to hold up Once Upon a Time, cast that, and then Spectral Sailor. Getting a Sailor down on 1 with just Disruption is a good way to kind of pressure into your opponent's life total. You really just want to try to grind them out of resources. That's fine. A little annoying because that does Stonewall our Sailor. This could be Bant Ramp. So this version of the deck will have Teferi, which is a little unfortunate. Here I just need a blue source. We got quite a bit of action, so... Probably just go Temple of Mystery here, to be honest. In this matchup, a second Nightpack would be good. So the reason we went that is if they drop to fairy, we can counter it. They're not going to have a Nisa this turn, so we're also okay. And then Oko can get countered. So we got them to play into that. So this turn now we're not going to let our shields down. We're going to hold up counter magic. Any planeswalker threat. If not, we'll just bounce. Second Grazer. Opponent's flexing on us. So they've seen the island, so we'll play that out. Just pass the turn. If they don't commit to the board, I'm just going to drop this Brazen down. This will put pressure on them. I don't really care about that. Brineborn's also not terrible. Would prefer another counter spell probably. Frilled Mystic would be nice. So unless they drop something significant down, I'm just going to play Nightpack Ambusher. Yeah. Oko's scary enough. Don't want Once Upon a Time. So we'll attack with both this turn. And we're kind of forced into going aggressive this game. Or this turn at least. We gotta drop a Nightpack Ambusher on their turn. Is this Nisa? Could be a Krasis. Okay, so they go Wicked Wolf. That's fine. This is a free block. Can't see them having anything. Okay, so we're just going wolves here. Running wolves should probably close it out. Just being able to go wide. So took that one. Just update. So usually when I play ranked with like new decks, I'll usually keep the win-loss record for non-games, just so I can kind of provide a little bit more context. Usually what I omit are games where either party was mana screwed or there just wasn't really gameplay to it. I'm fine taking a loss. It's more just to see what works. And then once we start going into like the mythic rank like last year, then I'll start fine-tuning and having a little bit more per game analysis. We will go first and we will keep. I'm going to probably want a second blue source here. That's actually probably what I want. We got some answers. I'd rather just set up a Brineborn and protect it. That's fine. Playing Calt's 1974, a mythic champion. So this Aether Gust is going to be very good in this matchup. I have a couple options here. I think we let that resolve. I want to set up a Brineborn this turn. If we can get it big enough, it can block. And now we can get it. So ideally we want... They're incentivized to play a creature pre-combat. They don't. So here... Let's put this on top of their library. This could be a stomp from them. Yeah. So that was the only kind of risk there. If we draw a land though, we can Frilled Mystic. I think we need to be mindful of our life total this turn, so let's not. So there was a little bit of risk going that avenue. We're going to take 3 here. Just counter this. Mystical Dispute. They're not... Nah, I think we need some more action. I need like a wolf. Or just, you know, those back-to-back work. Just pass turn. So depending what they do here... So I'm going to bounce here. And then I can essence capture the creature when it comes down. They may have another 2-drop here. Okay, they Once Upon a Time, that's fine. Because now we can hold up Frilled Mystic on a clean board. So should stabilize at this point. We do not want to see a Questing Beast. That one is scary. Okay, yeah. We got this in a pretty good spot. So this is part of it, like, so if Gruul can't get off to like a very go wide approach, we can usually just grind them out of value. Well, 3 of a kind meets our 3 of a kind. You have another creature. Okay, they have a Spellbreaker. Literally the best draw in our deck at this point. And we Xaxes them. Taking down Gruul. So 2-0 with the deck so far. Ranking up, we'll run it one more. Sorry. This is a keep. Least amount of info possible. We can Once Upon a Time and Sailor. Mono red scares me a bit. Probably the Borrower here. We can protect. If they shock, we let the shock go through, I think. Yeah, Spider. One sec, let me just pull it up. Why don't you take another turn with this robber? There you are with the deck list. So I think it's worth shocking here. This creates pseudo card advantage, which I don't like. It's a pretty stock flash list. You know what? I kind of regret shocking myself there. Yeah, that kind of screwed us up because we could have held up the Frilled Mystic this turn. And we took 2 points of unnecessary damage. For those tuning in live, if you ever want to see, if you just hover around like this part, there's a little widget that will pull up the deck list from Aether Hub. So you can always see what we're playing. Okay, so they do get to take out our dude here. Hey SGC, how's it going? Keep the land here. We can just scry. We can just keep up these Frilled Mystics now. It's going well. We are trying to deal with the Oko Warlord by playing every counter we can. How about yourself? Here, if they're not going to commit, we'll just play the Borrower out. So they likely have. Yeah. Actually, that's really good if they're going to take a 4 damage spell. Especially because we just drew Nightpack Ambusher. Really, the card I'm most scared of is Torbran. Yeah. They had another Slaying Fire. That's still 8 damage from the face. I played Oko to Mythic last year, and I almost got into the top 1200, but I can't play it. It's so boring, the deck. The lines are always the same. We're going to take this damage here. They're probably going to try to do like a light up the stage is my guess. You know what? From a card advantage standpoint, we could shut them off here. Just run them out of resources. Okay, so they had another light. That's fine. My guess is here they have the choice to either shock us to turn on the light up the stage. Yeah, that's fine. I ran my first limited in a while, actually, of Throne of Eldraine. I just got milled out a lot. I put together some like really random blue-white flyers though. That's fine. It's like not terrible, the mono red matchup, especially because the opponent came pretty slow out the gates. They don't have Slaying Fire. They just go Bone Crusher to the face. So at this point they're just trying to race us. But we should be able to go wide. The Cavalcade version, in my opinion, is a little bit more scary for the Flash deck at least. I think this version of Mono Red is better. This taxes him out of mana. So we don't get to attack with the Nightpack Ambusher, but it does force them to use their mana. We really just want to protect the Ambusher. This could pump in an extra point of damage, but we have a wolf to block. This should be enough because we could have 9 power even if they kill the Nightpack Ambusher. And I can always bounce as well. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna bounce this anyways, and then we have lethal. Also worth. I play a bit of limited. I prefer sealed usually, but I don't have the patience sometimes to play with limited. Like you can see, this is the deck I just drafted. It's not that good. I first picked Wildborn Preserver and then just didn't see anything else good green. It's basically just like a Fairy Guide Mother, cheap flyers or pseudo-evasive. Kind of got the mill with Lucky Clover, but if you can get Godmother out with Lucky Clover, works pretty well. I'm like 2-2 with the deck. I kind of just got bored. It gets outclassed pretty quick. Just discard changes. So we'll run it for, we won that one again. So 3-0. It doesn't look bad. It's just, I don't know. It felt kind of underpowered. I managed to beat like the Demir Mill that they had Lockmere Serpent as well. Just kind of went over the top there, but overall not too bad. It's nice playing Ambusher again. So this is a hand we keep. And I probably got to give it more of a chance. I don't put enough time into sealed admittedly, so typically what happens is I just overrate evasive cheap decks, so it typically ends up being some variation of blue-white flyers. Take the Borrower. So opponent shocked in a breeding pool, so we might be in the mirror here. Yeah, could be in the mirror. So we opted for Forest here because we have the option of a few different spells. Oh, is this Temur Reclamation? We should probably have a good matchup against this. They're never going to resolve a Reclamation on us. I need a threat though. Probably Ambusher. Probably Ambusher. Yeah, this is Reclamation. Yeah, I gotta play in paper. Also, to curiosity, anyone in chat, do you have a good mono black devotion list for Pioneer? The non-vampire version? I got like the core of the deck. I'm just kind of deciding between some of the flex if I want to go pack rat version or some other variation. I think we just gotta play the long game here. 3 mana, they're likely gonna have a counter for our Ambusher. So I'm going to put out a threat here. Okay, they have Flame Sweep. So I'm shocking because I have the option to Quench and Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower bounce if they drop a Reclamation. This game is going to just be about forcing through. That's fine. We do need a hard counter sooner or later. It's really, if they stick a Wilderness Reclamation, oh shit. Okay, so this one's maining Niv, so we's in trouble. We's in trouble. Second Nightpack's actually pretty good. So depending on how they play this out, this should give us an extra pip. So we'll let that resolve. They're going to have enough to kill it anyways. But we literally can't beat a Niv Mizzet. They have too many cards in hand. This could just dump 2 more, so he draws 3 more cards. Can kill a wolf. They have a Niv on the stack with the shock, so they're going to have enough to deal with us. Yeah, so they didn't even need Reclamation this game. Go face. We also probably don't have enough to mill them out. Get another wolf. They can probably go through and kill this now. Because the problem is, even with our interaction, it triggers another draw for them. They're opting to go face, so they might just try to go aggressive here. So we do have the hard counter. Counter here, but there's probably enough on the stack now. Yeah, we're probably dead. So they draw off that. They draw off that. Yeah, we're dead. Because these become 2 power. You know what, if I'm going to lose to anything, I'm happy to lose to Niv. We'll just see what we get draw. You know what's really not good? A 1 toughness creature. Alright. We went a little conservative there, but even with, what's its name? The Brazen Borrower, we would have been able to bounce it once, but we weren't going to do worlds of a difference. What are we at? Plat 3. We'll run it for one more. See how it goes. Yep. Usually if you could have this interaction with some form of disruption on one. Adventure perhaps. Or probably Jund. Oh, this hand's pretty poop. So they know it's coming. This mystical dispute's gonna be pretty lackluster, them being on the play. Just go Love Struck here. No Innkeeper here is pretty good. I do think we probably need to race in this matchup, so we'll run it like that. Likely seeing Love Struck this turn. Interesting. This could be Murderous Rider. Yeah. It's actually more than okay for me. We Mystical Dispute here. And then we can hold up Frilled Mystic. They can attack in with Foulmire, but I can smash in for 3. Just pass turn here. We're going to go the Frilled Mystic. Don't want to deal with the Love Struck Beast here. Interesting again. So this could be another Murderous Rider. All of which is fine, I think. If they're spending time just killing these instead of advancing their board. Once Upon a Time. Another Foulmire. Okay. Kind of want to see a land there just so we could Borrower and like bounce play. I need to get rid of this Foulmire Knight. Take a point. That's fine. Still want to keep the hard counter. Quench works here. So do we want a Borrower? I think just to get these bigger. Okay. This will hold back Lovestruck Beast in the future. These Foulmire Knights are actually pretty annoying. Part of the reason we didn't bounce was because they would get another card draw. So we're effectively trading a card and then they get another look. We want to try to grind them out of resources here. And that is definitely not something I want to see. These have gone up quite a bit in price. They're like 10, 11 bucks US now. So we're just going to poke in. This deck's felt pretty strong. Having counters, I think, is important. Obviously, this is kind of an extreme, but it's usually one of the more tempo-y lists. That's fine. So they can Foulmire Knight. It can't block anyways. So here, because they block these two, so we just hold back. They're eventually going to have to block one of these Frilled Mystics. Really just want to stop them. They go Massacre Girl. 1, 2, we just counter. There's enough there that it wipes our board. Like if there wasn't enough to trigger everything, but the Brineborns die. Alrighty, so I think 4-1 with the deck. So we'll wrap it up there. So this is the list if anyone was looking for. You can find it on Aether Hub. If you tuned in at any part, missed some of the video, I'll have it up on YouTube later today. Appreciate everyone tuning in. As always, you can catch all my content on my YouTube channel, MTG_Joe. Otherwise, we'll be back later this evening. We will be playing probably Grixis Fires. Probably Grixis Fires. Unless I could find another fun deck to play. I'm on the week of no Oko. So trying to play as many non-Oko decks as possible. I might play Hydras. We'll see what we run with. But thanks everyone for tuning in. And have a great day or night, depending where you are in the world.